The next time you take an antibiotics without the right advice, come closer, let me tell you what you might be doing. You might actually be helping bacteria become more stronger than medicine. Now, this is what I mean by that. Now, have you ever had cough, sore throat, or flu symptoms and immediately started taking antibiotics? Here's something a lot of people do not know. Antibiotics only work against bacteria infections. In other words, they do not treat illnesses that are caused by viruses such as the common cold, influenza, most coughs, or most sore throats. Now, as a registered nurse midwife, one of the common mistakes that I see a lot of people make is taking antibiotics just in case there are traces of infection, using leftover medication antibiotics, sharing antibiotics with family or relative, or using antibiotics generally without medical advice. Why is this dangerous? First, it contributes to antimicrobial resistance. This is when bacteria change over time and stop responding to these antibiotics, thereby making treatment even much more harder and sometimes making it impossible to treat. And this has become one of the biggest public health threats that is facing the world today. Secondly, antibiotics do not only affect harmful bacteria, they can also disrupt healthy bacteria that are found in your gut or even your vagina, and thereby increasing your risk of diarrhea, thrush, and other imbalances. Thirdly, taking antibiotics without knowing the real cause of your symptoms can actually mask an underlying condition, thereby delaying the right diagnosis and treatment. And if you're pregnant, this is even more important. Not all antibiotics are safe in pregnancy, so self-medicating in pregnancy can actually pose a great risk for you as the mother and also your unborn baby. So if you are to take any antibiotics in pregnancy, endeavor that it is prescribed by a qualified healthcare professional. It is also very important to note that unnecessary antibiotics intake can cause allergic reactions and other side effects. Now to the big question that I know might be going on in the mind of a lot of people is, what should we then do? Number one, only take antibiotics when they have been prescribed by a qualified healthcare professional. Secondly, take the antibiotics as you have been told to take it. Thirdly, do not share antibiotics. Did you hear that? Do not share your antibiotics. If an antibiotics has been prescribed for you and it worked out for you, that does not mean that that is the right antibiotics for the next person in your house. And to the next important point, do not keep leftover antibiotics for another illness. I know a lot of people are guilty of this. By the time you have other presenting symptoms, you tend to go and pick up your leftover antibiotics to continue. Please do not do that. Again, if you are thinking of stopping your antibiotics early or because you're experiencing some side effects, please do speak to your prescriber or your pharmacist before stopping it, rather than deciding that on your own. Antibiotics are medicines that should be used carefully and only when they are truly needed and as prescribed by a qualified healthcare professional. So please stop the abuse. Remember, I see your favorite nurse at Real Nurse Chi. So please, if this piece was helpful, do like, share, and comment, and do have a lovely night rest. Bye.